Right, just taking a short clip for this video, just to show the timings. So if I go to this one, it should give me per bank. RTL's trained well, which you'd expect them to, and then just the timings, and then mem test basically done, and then the voltages. So you can see SA 1.25. Yeah, and then the setup is as such. Alright, just another quick clip, and I passed HCI again. As you can see, like slightly below the last time. It is now just past 3 AM. It's 1.45, 1.35-ish, but it might be 1.365 at times. I don't know. It's like negative 100, but obviously PMIX are in 15 millivolt increments, so it just kind of works like that. But yeah, so 1.45, 1.35 more or less, and underloaded is at least, as you can see by these min values. And then yeah, SA 1.8, same stuff, same settings. Just to retest, because I was skeptical to see if it would pass again. I was kind of worried actually. But yeah, so pretty much done. Alright guys, so time has come. I was actually going to make this video like yesterday, but I had some problems with something, and then I ran out of time, and I was like, I don't feel like doing it now. But I'll elaborate on some stuff like in a different video or something. This video I'm going to try and make as concise as possible on this topic, and that topic is ADI. So obviously from the clips you would have seen that I'm going to play in the beginning of the video, I got a profile going. I didn't have a lot of time testing this RAM. I received it last week. Today is this morning. It's Wednesday right now at like 12:45 or so. I received this RAM last week Wednesday in the morning, but I didn't have a lot of time because I was busy with something. I was studying, so I couldn't really test. I did mess around a little bit. At the time, I had my friend's motherboard, or what is now my friend's motherboard, which I was going to actually potentially use myself, but my friend needed something a bit better, and my other friend needed something else as well. So my one friend sold his old motherboard and his old DDR5 to my other friend, and then this friend who I'm talking about bought my Hero. So wait, actually that's the wrong picture. That's the wrong picture. I want to show you the Hero. So ADI on the Hero didn't go super great. Like, the Hero has a good PCB. It can boot 7600. Like, I was testing with like 7400. It was like erroring around 40% with 7400 on the Hero with ADI. These timings were a bit shoddy. I didn't really know what to use. I'm gonna guess part of why I was erroring was because my per bang timing was too low. Yeah, I didn't know, but ADI can't really do like below 450 per bank. I was at 444, which is actually too tight. To look more at my settings, what else was wrong here? These two could have been 44s, so the actual combination right now is 34, 44, 44, and then you would, for instance, do like 36, 46, 46 if you needed to, whatever, but like, so 34, 44, 44 would have been what I picked now. 28 TRAS is fine. These two are too high, unnecessarily high, just like didn't know what to use. This is fine, this is fine, this is pretty much fine, this is a bit too high, way too high, doesn't need to be 28. Too high, this could be too high depending on voltage. Too high, and too high, and yeah, so, and I guess these two are too high, but I mean, that makes it, so, yeah, so basically, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just guessing, and, I mean, you could check the voltages, but whatever, it doesn't really matter, because I didn't get stable, and, yeah, funny thing is, Asus boards seem to need you to match the two DRAM voltages most of the time, because I couldn't get my friend's RAM stable on the Hero. Well, he's MDI. with a gap between the two voltages. I'm not sure why that is, but it's more stable when you match it to an Asus, but on the Dark Kingpin, no. On the dock it actually separated, so that's pretty weird, but whatever. Otherwise, I got other thing stable. I got this to run burn test. So the IMC was stable here. So the IMC can, like, the board can sustain a data rate of 7200. Obviously the timings were not right because I errored twice, but like, yeah. So the board can sustain this kind of data rate, right? This voltage is a bit too high, right? I don't think I needed 1.45 volts for ADI for this. But yeah, anyway, so the Hero can do like over 7,000 depending how good your IMC is. My IMC is pretty good. My IMC is actually pretty good. It's a lot better than my friend's IMC. So yeah, like, that's that. Now, safety-wise, which is why I have the picture up, I can now assure you guys, like, my recommendation, 1.45 volts now is officially safe to run with ADI. MDI, whatever, people were running 1.65 volts. I don't know. I don't even know about that. The IC was good. Really good IC. Really tight latency. I loved MDI. MDI was really great. ADI has been a bit of a shit show. I don't particularly enjoy ADI. I'm going to be completely honest. It's been a very weird experience tuning ADI. Yeah, to say the least. Scaling is weird. 1.45 is completely safe, as you can see now. So if you want to run 1.45 volts in your ADI, go for it. But just do not try it on a fan, because ADI is extremely heat sensitive. Like, I'm talking, man, like, ADI is so sensitive to heat. Like, if you don't have good cooling, you will not get, like, a good profile. Like, you just won't. You won't get a good overclock out of it. Like, it's not gonna happen. So 1.45 volts is fine, but if you're gonna run, like, you know, tightened TRFC and, you know, high TREFI and whatever, like, you're gonna need cooling, because, like, this is way too sensitive. Like, in fact, I don't think you could run XMP over here without a fan. I just don't see it. Like, I don't see it happening. Honestly, by this point, I think G-Skill, other vendors have to start, like, including RAM fans or something. Just get initiative going, because, like, this is a problem. People are not running 8,000, right? They're not doing 8,000 with no fan. There's just no way, okay? People are running 4090s. What kind of PC do you think this is going inside? A 4090 rig, for sure. A rig with a 4090 1300K. If you have a 1300K, whether it's taking in air and dumping that heat into the case, or if you have the CPU exhausting and you have your 4090 dumping heat into the case, or better yet, you have the CPU dumping air in, and you have the 4090 that's, like, dumping air in. Like, let's say you have the CPU's intake, and then the 4090 is adding, and then it's, like, just a bunch of heat inside your case. Like, there's just no way. There's just no way. There's no way this is happening. Like, this is not happening without a RAM fan. Like, in a 4090 rig, it's just not happening. Like, I'm telling you right now, it's not happening. So, yo, like, that's that final. That's final. Include RAM fans. Make RAM fans. Like, start a campaign, something, because, like, people need to stop idling their RAM when they're running, like, 8,000. It's not gonna happen, dude. It's gonna end badly. But anyway, so let me just get to the important bit. So I had my progress chart here for my RAM. I did this because I could tell we were gonna have a merry old time. So yeah, this was not so fun. So we started over here with, you know, similar settings as my stable. Pretty much almost identical, actually. And we errored somewhere. So this passed momentarily. I had to stop the test because I had to, you know, turn my computer off for load shedding. But we flick over to this, is why I let it run again. And yeah, errored around 150%. So what was wrong over here? What can we identify? These timings are fine. So what was wrong? If you come to voltages, the simple problem is that this is just too low. So 1.4 volts on VDD, 1.3 on VDDQ is just too low. It's just not happening. I'll move on. So we tried loosening TRC and stuff, to no avail, obviously. Problem again was voltages, and then we tried up with 7400 again. Okay, same thing. Errored early, same deal. So here's why I raised data queue, and it made it worse. So great stuff, fun. And then here we go again, 20%. What did I do wrong here? Match the two. I changed something, man. I changed like TX or whatever. I don't even know, dude. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's always time. Like, again, tried it, whatever. Didn't work. Changed, you know, TX, dropped it, whatever. Didn't work. Okay, cool. So what was the solution? I decided that I was approaching it wrong. And I decided to just go... Wait. I closed it, man. That was stupid. I decided to just do this. So, I raised VDD to 1.45. VDDQ dropped to 1.35, 100 millivolts lower. I know it says 1.365, but that's actually like 1.35. But whatever, doesn't matter. So obviously this matched it, so 1.45, and then this didn't have to be higher than this, so that was nice to keep it low. 1.35 is quite low. Very safe on the IMC, and SA I kept 1.25. Didn't seem to help raising it, so yeah, passed 800%, almost 900%. So yeah, very stable, very stable. And I was paranoid because of something else. So flick over, I passed it again. So if you check the time, check the percentages when the test was stopped, so you can tell that it's less coverage, but check the time, and yeah, this was a retest that I did, and obviously I have the clip of both of them, so it's whatever. But yeah, so that was that. Totally stable. It's rock solid, absolutely rock solid, and very safe. I mean, voltages are supremely low. 1.35 TX is low, 1.25 SA is low, and then 1.45, 1.35. So perfect, like completely safe, reliable, efficient daily profile. And the timings obviously 13.8, 13.8, 18.18 here. 58.48 gives you, if we do some math real quick, 58 minus 6 minus TCWL, 32, 20, 48 minus 6 minus 32, 10. So 2010 TWTRL and S, which is very good, very tight. 45 on pre and PDN gives you 8 TWR. Yeah, this was a very nice, tight, efficient OC. Pretty much as tight as you're getting, above 7400, right? Like 34, 44, 44. In fact, I do not foresee, I just don't see 7400 C32 happening. I mean, you could potentially, depending on how good your sticks are. Keep in mind that at 32, we're talking 8.6 nanoseconds, which is extremely quick. Like, that's extremely quick. Like, this would require, like, a really strong IMC. So, I mean, this is something you don't see often on D5. I'm at right now, we're talking like 9.18, which is still very fast. This is still a perspective, like 32 divided by 3.6. Okay, this is 8.8, 8.9 more or less. So yeah, so 7200 C32 is technically still faster in terms of overall access latency, but I'll show you some comparisons. So if we go to I'll go to IDA Raptor Lake S, and we can check out. Now, I will say, obviously, 7200 has a faster CPU, a little bit, but it won't matter too much, so we'll check it out. So, 49.8 nanoseconds on 7200 C32, as I'm sure if I've shown it before. Check read and write speed. And, yeah, so, 8i scored quite a bit higher on the read and write speed. Obviously, latency was up by, like, what, 1 nanosecond? Right, it's 49.8 versus, yeah, so about 1 nanosecond. Okay, 1 nanosecond slower, but quite a bit more bandwidth, like 112, 109 versus 116, 113. Copies 111 to 107. So yeah, this is definitely transferring more data. I would say overall a faster memory speed. And I mean, we could still go to Geekbench, so I'll go to browser Geekbench. Browser Geekbench, cool. So if I go to Geekbench, I'll check out my scores. So this was an equivalent clock speed and compare the two. So ADI scored a little bit, you know, not like that much faster, but like a decent amount higher in Geekbench. And then if we scroll down to memory performance, you'll see we beat, yeah, we beat it by a little bit. I mean, not by much, but a little bit. So yeah, like this isn't a huge upgrade, but why is it important? So why? So you're thinking now, okay, why did you upgrade to ADI? Like, why did you spend? Okay, I spent about $100 to upgrade my kit to ADI. I sold my Hynix kit at whatever, and it cost me about $100 more to get ADI. So why? Why would I do that? Well, simple. If I go to my RAM OCs, so why buy ADI, right? What's the logic behind it, right? Well, would you want a daily 1.6 volts? Because that's what this required. Obviously, I showed the clip on my channel, like this, the PMix errored out when I opened up CPU-Z. But yeah, this requires 1.6 volts and 1.5 on data queue. So 1.6, 1.5, that profile. Is that safe? We're talking about a slightly slower profile that requires 150 millivolts more voltage on both rails. 150. Like 150. Like 1.6 in and of itself is not necessarily like safe for daily. So this, as it is, was not even like technically safe. Like this could have very easily errored, like very easily degraded. Like over the years, I mean, depending on how many times you're gonna run a stress test, how many times you're gonna heat up the DIMMs, but yeah, like this would not be something I would daily. So I was dailying like this because this was the same voltage. So what are you actually seeing on ADI? Well, what you're actually seeing is this 7400, 3442, 42 versus 3444, 44. Similar-ish timings, same voltages. You're banking less on these two, but that's because you're running like 7000 or 7400. So you're gonna need more TX and more SA, right? Obviously, but compare the scores again on Geekbench. I believe I did do Geekbench of 7. Yeah, I did it. Didn't I? Okay, so the problem is I didn't do it for the i7. Damn it. Okay, that sucks, but whatever. But basically, yeah, you're getting 400 megatransfers at the same voltages. Similar cast latency, or same cast latency. Similar-ish timings. Obviously, TRFC is quite a bit higher now. 450 and 450 per bank, and 480 normal is what you're getting. So TRFC 1 is 480 per bank is 450. Versus on Hynix, MDI was like what for 7200 you were doing like 360 and 324 because you could do like 90 nanoseconds and 100. So with MDI, for example, it was easy to do like this. So you could do that 100 nanoseconds MDI. On ADI, it's like, I mean, get a notepad out actually. So I'll do MDI, ADI. So, oh, sorry, 30, 34, 42, 42, 42, 28, 2T, and then at and we'll skip some timings, so I'll just mention this. So TRFC 1 was 350 TRFC per bank, 315 equals 100 nanoseconds and 90 nanoseconds. And then for ADI, we are at quite a substantially higher figure, so we're now at 480 and 450, and that gives you, check now, so 480 divided by 3.7 is 129.7 and could say I'll just say 0.7 nanoseconds, and 450 divided by 3.7, 121.6. So quite a fair bit slower on TRFC and per bank. And anything else differentiates to, like, not much. Like, I mean, TWR was similar, TRTP was a little bit higher, but whatever. We'll say TRTP 8, and then obviously here we're doing TRTP 12. That's forced, that's ADI's limitations. And in terms of tertiaries, tighter all the way around, right? ADI seems to not mind tertiaries all too much. So if I compare the two here, you'll see 14.8, 13.8, 20, 20, 18, 18, 14.8, 13.8, 58, 48, 60, 50. Okay, now why is that? I'm just gonna say much tighter tertiaries. And simple reason is just because ADI requires, I guess you could say, like, less voltage supply to scale, and tertiaries are like precursor timing, so they come before the timing. So the tertiaries need to have, like, okay, to have good tertiaries, and to have, like, I guess you could say, like, tighter tolerances for access latency, like a more responsive IC. You just need, like, better scaling, I guess you could say. And MDI just kind of, yeah, at 1.45 it's kind of struggling. I mean, I could have tried tighten MDI up a little bit on tertiaries, and it might have worked, but I don't really imagine I would have gotten, like, these kinds of values, just because this was already so tight. Like, this was already so close to erroring. Like, I think this would have been a bit too much. So we're gonna go ahead and say, I'll just say tight tertiaries. I won't say significantly. I'll say tighter. Like, I'll say, okay, tighter, right? So that's what you're getting. And sorry, there we go. So MDI versus ADI. Same IMC on my CPU. Now, in terms of online results, like what's the limit, right? So from what I've seen, now here's the problem with this, guys. I'm telling you guys right now, like, this is already a good bin. Oh wait, I forgot to mention. Funny that you can do it now, but yeah. So from what I've seen, right, here's the deal, guys, here's the deal, okay? Real talk. Your CPU will not run this, and definitely not this. Like, I'm telling you right now, okay? Doubt me if you want. In order to get this, and this, you need a bin. So I'm gonna say, okay, I'll make it fun. Top 1% CPUs with RPL CPUs. I'll say top. Give it, you know what? Give it like top 5% ADI. Maybe 5%. We'll say top 5% RPL CPUs. And we'll say top like maybe 15% A-die. We'll go top, say 25%. No, that's a stretch. I'd say 15%. RPL CPUs, top maybe 25% A-die. For this, you're gonna need like top 25%, more or less. I almost gonna say 20%, but like I'll say 25. Actually, I'll take it 20. It's not 25. There's no way. Like, and we'll go top maybe 30% A-die. And we'll go like, no, I'll make it fair. I'll say about 30%. And yeah, so for 7400, like mine does easily, I would say maybe top 50% CPU. I'd probably say, honestly, all A-die. I'm gonna say all A-die. Pretty much all. Because once you get to this kind of value, it starts becoming harder. So 7600. Wait, actually, let me do it like this. I'm gonna do it like this. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. Bear with me. I'm gonna do it like this. So let me go full screen. Let me cut this. I'm gonna say, so 8,000 with 9,000. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. I should have done this beforehand. I know I should have prepped this, but like I just wasn't really thinking about it, to be honest. That's 8,000. I'm tired, guys. Sorry. And then 7,800 is not impossible. It's just not super common. Like I haven't seen that many 7,800s, so I would assume about. I mean, look, there's a bias here, right? Because keep in mind that people that have A-die right now, that have been testing it for a while, and those that have the boards to do A-die at high speeds are all enthusiasts, right? So, like, here's the problem, okay? If you say, oh, well, no, dude, I believe that A-die is like, you know, you could, okay, let's say someone wants to come in the comments and be like, oh, no, dude, I've seen it done on, like, I think it's only, like, I think, top, you know, 50% of A-die can do, like, 8,400, and I think that, like top 50% of Raptor chips can do like 8,400. It's like, no, dude, like people that you see doing, okay, if you see 2 people online with HCI stable 8,400 A-die OCs, 2 people, and the place you look for those 2 people is the place where everyone who's good at this stuff like frequents, that means that 2 people in the most likely pool of people on the planet to do that. Like, if you go on OCN and 2 dudes have like rock solid 8,400 profiles, you must understand that is 2 dudes in a sample of the best people at the shit on the planet. Like, it's fucking impossible. It's like, what, dude? It's like impossible. Like, it's literally impossible, dude. Like, I'm gonna actually make a video of me trying to get A-die stable at like 7,600, because I want you guys to see what it looks like when you begin to hit an IMC slash, nah, pretty much an IMC limit. I think my A-die could probably do maybe 7,600, maybe. It's a very big maybe. Like, that's the deal. And problem number 2 is not all A-die scales. Problem number 3. What's the other commonality I found, guys? Everyone running a sick 8i OC is running that shit at max 25C on the DIMMs, and that's off the testing. So what does that tell you? That tells you, if your DIMM is 25C running HCI or TM5 or Karhu, that means you're on a sick custom loop. And tell me something, guys, please, humor me. How many of your friends do you know, people you know, run custom loops that include their RAM sticks? Humor me. Because I bet, if I get 100 views on this video, I wouldn't say bet money, because I don't bet money, but let's say I could almost potentially bet money that when I get 100 views on this video, 90 people, 90 viewers have never even heard of using water cooling on RAM sticks and do not understand why it is a, like a common practice, or why it's a worthwhile practice. I'm telling you right now, it's not that common, and I bet people wouldn't understand why. They'll be like, oh, but I mean, you could use a fan, right? Well, you could use a fan, and then you end up with these kinds of temps. I mean, like, they're not terrible, but they're not exactly amazing. If I go back to my profile, so go here, and past 2 I did, and I opened up HW info after it was done, so it didn't bug out the temp sensors. So max temp was about 46.3. It actually probably hits like more like 49, 50. But yeah, this is completely bugged. But yeah, so like let's say approximately like 46.3, maybe like 49. You know, the thing is, I opened up the test when it was already like 800%. So it means that the point I opened up HW info, it was already like the DIMMs had maxed out their thermal ceiling. So around, yeah, I mean, look, at around 14C ambient, you talk about 14C ambient, it's quite cold, right? 14C ambient, I've got a fan in my bedroom, RAM fans on max, and yeah, you're looking like 46C on Z5 sticks with 8i, at 1.45 volts VDD and 1.3 VDQ. That's not very high, by the way, keep in mind. So you talk about 46C with 14 ambient, active like air circulation in the bedroom, windows open, 1.45, 1.35, and that's what we're looking at. Like, understand, like, this is barely enough to keep this shit stable. Like, this is on the edge, man. Like, if I went up 10 degrees, dude, I mean, if I turned my fan off, dude, like my RAM fan, if I pulled that shit out, dude, this would have been errored like hella quick. I'm telling you right now, like, that RAM fan goes, this is erroring, for sure. Like, 400%, like, 5560C on the SPD hub, there's absolutely no fucking chance that this is not erroring. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. It's impossible. So, you know, 8i is very, very hard to keep sensitive, to keep cool. So, like, it's a nightmare OC. It's a nightmare, because, like, literally, you're erroring at, like, 120%. Like, often. So, it takes a while to get this stable. Like, you have to really sit there and be like, what the hell? Because, I mean, you mess up TRCD, unstable. You mess up TRP, unstable. You mess up TRFC, unstable. You mess up TRFE and then the heat, unstable. You mess up the voltages, unstable. I mean, dude, it's a shit show. Like, 8i is not a joke. It's not easy. It's not easy to tune. Like, I'm telling you right now, it's hard to tune MDI. MDI was chilled. MDI was calm, but 8i is a bitch. I'm telling you right now. So, yeah, 8i. I mean, performance is there. I'm gonna guess a lot of you guys that, you know, have heard about 8i are like, oh, you could run 8000 and blah 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 and all this stuff. Like, I'm not gonna BS you guys, okay? Please do not get your hopes up. Like, do not get your hopes up. If your 8i can do 7600 with my timings, like my timings, except 45-0, because you're not doing 44s with 7600, but my timings, right, with reasonable TX, not like 1.5, I'm talking like 1.35, which is still safe, 1.25, not like 1.375 SA, that's barely safe, okay, like 1.25 SA, 1.35 TX, and then you have like 1.45 VDD, right? If your A die can do those voltages with these sort of timings and then 7,600, you got a great bin, and you know what? God bless you, and that's awesome. If your CPU can match that max on your kit, even better. 2 thumbs up, okay? To get 7,800, right? You're gonna need a bin CPU, number one, because I think Skullbringer was saying for the hero, for this board, right? He needed to sample 15 i9s. 1 of 15 i9s. 1 of 15 did this on the hero. 1 of 15. Now, the hero isn't as easy to tune on as the Apex. Maybe even as the Dock, right? Maybe. But it still means to get like 7,800 on the hero, or like maybe even get like 7,800 on the Dock, or like 8,000 on the Dock, or this on the Apex or whatever, it means you're gonna have to sample like 20 good CPUs. So, talking i9s, not i7s, because the i9s have the higher potential to have better silicon. So, you're gonna have to go through like 20 i9s, guys. You guys have to think about how crazy that is. Like, think about it. You have to literally have an ES engineering sample, right? Or literally bin like 20 chips, dude. Like 20 chips. That's freaking crazy. Like just imagine binning 20 chips, dude. Like, that's insane. Right? So, I just don't see how, like, you could potentially, like, I mean, not potentially, but, like, realistically, how could you, like, I mean, how are you doing it? Like, I don't know. So, yeah, I mean, I just, yo, like, I don't know. Pretty much, this is what you're expecting. Like, 7,400 is the limit for most people. Like, most people who are gonna try a die, like, that's it. That's all you're getting. It's sad. It sucks. But that's it. Like, I mean, yeah, I mean, like, I'm sighing, guys. Like, so much else to say. I mean, like, it's whatever. It's whatever. It's like, it is what it is, right? So, I spent, like, I mean, not that much. I paid in my country, I paid 280 for my kit, 285 for my kit, right? So, and my kit sold for this much. So I made a bit of profit. So I sold for $202. I paid 165, so I made a bit of profit on my RAM kit. Like a very small profit, like, you know, $35, whatever. It was binned, so to speak, because I had binned it, so to speak, and yeah. But my M-die, you know, it cost me like $80 to upgrade, which is like whatever. I mean, yeah, not even 100. It was $80. So I paid, yeah. So I actually paid this to upgrade. So like $85 to upgrade, $86 to upgrade. So I mean, it wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad, but like, I mean, I paid $87 ish for like 400 mega transfers. 400, because like I said, I wasn't dailying the max OC. I could not daily it. So, on the 1.45 volt limit that I set for myself, like, as my day limit, I like 1.4 volts. For 1.45 volts, yeah, that's it. Like, you know, 7,400, if you get really lucky, 7,600, your CPU have to be able to do as well. Like, so i9's only pretty much, and a good bin, a decent sample, right? So that's it. Pretty much all I can say. If you have an i7, this, man, and I'm telling you right now, I've got a good i7. So, if you have a good i7 like mine, like a golden sample with a good IMC, a good cores, whatever, like, then like expect this, right? If you have a decent i9, expect this. If you have a golden i9, expect this. If you have a almost like, you know, a golden plus i9, expect this. If you have like a 1 in 100 chip on the planet, expect this. If you have like a 1 of 5 chip on the planet, this. Being serious, 1 of 5, man. Like, do you know how crazy this is? Like, think about this real quick. This is Gear 2. The guy, I'm guessing it was High Cookie. The guy from Gigabyte who got this on the Tachyon, right? Like, just think about that. This is a 2,250 megas IMC in Gear 2, dude. For D5. Like, do you know how hard it is to get the IMC to run like that quickly, addressing D5, like that is insane, dude. Like this is literally okay. He actually booted this. That was his max profile actually. So 2325, dude. Times by 2. That's D4 4650 in gear 1. Like that might be 1 of 1, dude. That might be 1 of 1. I'm being serious. This might literally be like 1 of 1. I'm gonna say like 1 of 5. Like literally like. Now, I'm going to say 1 of 10 on Earth CPU sample. I'm being serious. I'm being serious. Like, do not expect this. You're not getting it. It's not going to happen. Like, dead ass. It's not happening, right? So, yeah, that's it. 8i is okay. Don't pay too much for it. That's for damn sure. If you have an i7, don't be sad when 8000 doesn't happen. It's just not gonna happen. Yeah, I bet if I had a really good i9, I haven't completely, like, you know, stretched my kit. I think with a really good i9, I could maybe get this to like 8000. Maybe. I think on my dock and this kit, 8000 should be doable. But again, like I said, bin CPU. And I mean, I think Kearney did 8000 on the dock. And yeah, Kearney must have binned like 23 chips. I'm not even kidding. And I mean, he can, because he has the cash to do it. He has the funding. And I mean, they build computers, so I mean, they had a bunch of chips on hand. So I'm guessing what happened was they binned like 20 CPUs, and you know, put the most, you know, the highest clocking one into like their best system that some pro player must have bought, like some Warzone pro bought, you know, with 8000 D5. So yeah, like I'm talking like seriously, like 20 CPUs, 8000, like 20 chips, bin 20 chips. I'm being serious, like dead ass. So yeah, otherwise I'm gonna cut off now because I've been talking for a long time about the same thing more or less. But yeah, that's 8i, my review, my thoughts on 8i. It's okay. It's fine. Some caveats. There's the info. So, yeah. That's it. I'll see you guys.